Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naomi. So in the last video, I told you guys all about how I create this style, how I get these stretched out braid outs that last an entire week, but I didn't give you guys much information about how I maintain it throughout the week. So this video is going to be all about all of my tips, all of my methods for really stretching this out and making sure I only have to wash, I only have to really style my hair once a week. The first tip is one I already gave you guys in the first video, which is to re-braid the hair every single night and not to brush it out when you re-braid. When you re-braid, you're really just taking the hair that you have and just braiding it down and working through tangles as you reach them, but not really combing out the hair. I like not to completely brush out my hair every single time I re-braid. One, because this is Beauty Made Simple. I'm trying to save time and I'm really lazy. So brushing my hair out every single time is not gonna happen anyway. So keeps it simple. And then also I want the hair to be bigger and bigger as we go throughout the week. So I want it to really maintain that soft, fluffy look just without frizz. So braiding it down, just working through the tangles as you reach them, but not really doing a full comb through, achieves that look. The second tip is to use Flexi rods. Now, I am desperately in need of a trim. I have one coming up in a couple months, but until then, my edges are looking kind of rough. So if you're in the same boat I am, I use Flexi rods to kind of mask my ends and give them their own kind of curl pattern. The way that you do this is when you are finished with your regular braid, I just take 2 Flexi rods, one for each braid, curl the ends, and then sleep on it. And when I wake up in the morning, just as I'm taking down my braids, I take out the Flexi rods as well, and it gives the bottom a kind of curl to hide that rough look. So the third tip, and one that may actually be the biggest tip, is to really manage humidity. Now, I don't know what's going on with Atlanta lately, but it has been raining every single day. It's like we're living in freaking Seattle out here. So the humidity has been crazy, and you know, braid outs, twist outs, anything that's a stretch style, moisture just immediately makes your hair want to revert to its curly state. So moisture is not our friend in this case, and we really have to learn how to fight the humidity. So I have a few tips. Number one, check the weather every morning. Before you walk outside, even if it's not raining, you still want to check the humidity because it could be a high count even if there's no actual water coming down. So my typical gauge is if it's over 70, I'm going to go into humidity fighting mode. If I have to walk somewhere, I'm going to leave my hair in braids until I get to my destination. So typically this is me going to work every day. I will leave my hair in my braided down style until I get to work and then take out my braids at work. If this is not an option and I'm going a lot of different places throughout the day, I may decide today has to be a bun day or a ponytail day, where if my hair ends up frizzing out, it's still contained, so it's not just a huge afro on my head. Now, if you're going somewhere and you need to have your hair out, but you also can't unbraid it when you get there, another option is to kind of hide the hair in a hoodie. So what you'll do is actually pull the hair back and then put the hoodie on top. I like to secure it with some kind of headphones to keep the hood down, because if you have a lot of hair, it kind of pushes the hood back and can end up falling off. So I take a hoodie, put it on, put headphones on top, and kind of just walk around with the hair secured down until I get to my destination. And then once you walk inside, you can easily just pull the hood back, fluff out your hair. So it's a little bit easier than doing the braid out once you get to your destination. Your hair will be a little bit more frizzy because it is like moving around underneath the hood, but it'll still be, you know, maintained braid out curls and not full frizz. Now with the humidity, if all else fails and you still end up having a completely frizzed out fro, no worry, you can still come back that night, re-braid, and your hair will be fine the next day. The fourth tip is to not use any type of gels until the end of the week. The whole point of this style is to have really soft, really fluffy hair. Once you put gel on your hair, it really starts to weigh it down, and there's no way to really get that gel out until you wash it. So even trying to brush that gel out, it's gonna flake, it's gonna still weigh the hair down. Your hair is not gonna be the same as it was before you put it on. So I save gel for the very end of the week, or I use some type of light cream or mousse throughout the week if I need to lay down my edges. And the fifth and the final tip, one that is kind of a no-brainer, but still needs to be said, watch any type of movement. So if you're gonna be doing any type of exercise, any type of walking / running around more than a casual stroll, your hair is going to get frizzed out just because you're moving a lot. So even if you're walking outside and the wind is blowing it, it's going to be super fluffy, bordering on frizzy, depending on how much wind there is. So before you do any type of exercise, activity that is going to move your hair a lot, braid your hair down. Now, what this typically looks like for me is braiding my hair down before I go to the gym. I try and work out around 4 to 5 times a week. Don't always make it, but that's what I shoot for. And I always braid my hair down before I go to the gym. Braid it down just so you're not dealing with it. You don't have to put it in a ponytail. You don't have to put it in a bun, anything like that. Just completely braid it down before you go. This also helps when you're starting to sweat. That sweat can really revert your hair just like the humidity in the air can. But if you have your hair braided down and you have a headband or a bandana or something on top of it, you're really catching that sweat before it can do too much damage to your braids. So definitely braid your hair down before you go exercise. Try and keep your hair braided as much as possible if you are walking somewhere, if you're gonna be outside, and then if you are doing any type of casual, going to work, going to brunch, going out to eat, that's when you let your hair down so it can shine to its fullest. So these are my 5 tips for maintaining my hair throughout the week. Let me know if you guys have made any of your own, and I will see you next time. Bye.